All right. Oh, hello all. How's it going? So I'm not going to turn my camera on for this stream because I'm naked. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just gonna keep my camera off. I My girlfriend gave me a black eye. So what I thought I would do is kind of go over some of the comments that I've gotten on videos and read those comments and then take questions from people in the audience. And if people want to join in, let me know, and I will send you the link. Let me check. I know there's one person who wanted to join, so let me see if I can find her. She private messaged me. So unless I have your Google email address, there's only really a couple of different ways that I can invite you. One is I can invite you through Twitter. The other way is I can send you the link if I have your email address. Or the third one is that I can invite you through Google Plus. But if you're not in my circles, then I don't have access to your email address. So let me see here. See if I can find it. See if she private messaged me. Team manager. Community. I'm not seeing a message. So, all right. Well, anyhow, okay. So, let me see. I'm just going to go over a couple of my the latest videos that I've done. I'm going to start back at the ones where it was the demons are stealing your sperm. We'll start out at that one. And let me see some of the comments here. All right, so let me see if I can share this so you all can see it too. So see who's in the channel. Hey, Animus channel. Thanks for that link to that video that you suggested on time and space. I will definitely have to check that out. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Hey, hello, Cece. Hello, Raise the Village. How's it going? Yeah, cool. So let me see. So I'm going to just kind of go over some of the comments that I have received on some of my videos. So let me do this. Application window, bop, bop. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? No, that's not it. No. All right, let me see what is going on here. There, that should do it. Application window. Wow, it's still not in there. That's weird. Okay. Let me try popping it out and see if that helps. For some reason, the screen share program is not picking it up. No. Still, there we go. All right. So I will share this. So hopefully you all can see it. It is the demons are stealing your sperm. So we'll go down and read some of the comments. That man needs to visit a psychiatrist. I hope she's talking about Chris and not me. Labros says, this guy is totes for real. I heard religious conspirators say demons steal your sperm to make Nephilim hybrids. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what they're stealing sperm for, to make Nephilim hybrids. Makes perfect sense to me. One Wiccan high priest responds, religious conspirators. Very funny. Let me see. One Wiccan high priest says, is this guy for real? I thought I was a bit insane or eccentric, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Good question, Hellbound Heathen. Just what is Satan doing with all this sperm? If you aren't masturbating and not achieving climax, just how, pray tell, are the demons getting said sperm? Do they like crawl up inside your reproductive organs and grab it? Are the demons jerking you off and stealing it at the moment of climax? This has got to be the craziest damn concept I've ever heard in my life. Does this guy really believe that what he is saying? is there actually a Christian body of thought out there that believes this? They all belong in the funny farm then. Yeah, and I think Zamora kind of cued onto this is that I believe he's talking about nocturnal emissions, where what happens is that you will have orgasms in your sleep, and you have dreams, and I mean, this superstitious theory actually goes back to the concept of the incubus succubus, where there was a demon that came and into your sleep and then caused you to have nocturnal emissions and then stole your sperm. But of course, the sperm is right there. It's in your underwear if you're wearing underwear, or all over your sheets, or in your pajamas, or whatever. So Zavora says, one Wiccan high priest in some countries, the succubus climbs on top of a sleeping man and forces him to orgasm. And others, they're flying creatures able to disguise themselves as plump women. These women have proboscis like mosquitoes, and hence the man's member to extract the sperm. That I don't know. I've never really actually heard that. I've heard about the incubus succubus that cause nocturnal emissions, but the other part of it I don't know. I've never heard that. It's interesting. Let me see. Whatever this dude's on, I want a pound or two of it. Again, I hope they're talking about Chris and not me. And then Chica says, haha. Thornrose Witch, Kendra Ravenwood, freaking hilarious. Laughing my ass off. Thank you. Phelan Crow's Feather. Bah! Horror Child Studios. Yeah, talking about sermon in a public place here and children laughing in the background. He couldn't go somewhere private. Agreed. It is kind of weird, this way that he was talking about this, like in silhouette there, where you can't really see his face, because he's done videos where you can see his face. So I don't know why he's hiding his face in this one. I guess maybe he's a little embarrassed by it. So let me get back to the chat, see who's all in here. Let me see. Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, Michelle Gino. Modal Ross. Hey, Moat. Just went over your comment. Yeah, so let me see. What else? Mechano Blood. Keel the Frick. Is this guy high or something? I don't know. This guy here. Do I have to be high to understand this? What the fuck is going on? A vegan witch. Wow. Just wow. What the absolute F? You can curse on my channel. I'm not going to ban you. Is wrong with this person and everyone who listens / follows him. So the idea of cursing actually even goes back to a superstitious time that we need to get rid of it. It's okay to curse on my channel. You are not going to damn God through your blasphemous words, and there are no quote-unquote curse words. This is an old superstition that needs to die. It has not died its proper death in the past 500 years. It's time we started to put a nail in its coffin. It is perfectly okay to curse. No bolts of lightning are going to come down. No God is going to be offended by you taking God's name in vain and curse you for all eternity. So please feel free to curse on my channel if you so wish to. Zabora says, so is your sperm being licked off of tissues in the trash by demons? Really? Or is there an exchange program? Do I contact my guardian angel to do this? Yeah, I think you schedule an appointment with your guardian angel. And yeah, really think about all the sperm that's lost in toilets and tissues and socks and laundromats. I mean, it's horrible. These demons are having a field day. Witch forever. What the fuck? This dude really needs help. Agreed. The Geek Witch. I had to pause after a minute to explain to my poor husband why I was literally howling with laughter. Oh man, this was good. Thanks, Geek Witch. SPSC 616171. Did anybody else hear that guy say anything about killing? Yeah, he mentioned about killing the witches. Some kind of Christian he is. Was he afraid that somebody might recognize him? Is that why he hides his face? hey, dude, somebody on YouTube can recognize that voice of yours, Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. It is interesting. Like I was saying earlier, in some of his videos, you can obviously see his video. I mean, his image, and then he's hiding it in this one. For reference, for those of you who've been watching my videos for a while, this is the same guy who I did another video on about Satan and masturbation. And his name is Chris LaSalle, and we actually sent him a message, and he never responded back. So you can his face is out on other YouTube videos. This one, for some reason, he decided to hide it for whatever reason. I guess he's embarrassed about him whacking a little Willie. Charles Trulier. I can't pronounce your names. I'm sorry. It only happens if you stop masturbating, so I think I'll be fine. Of course, stopping masturbating is easy, and I know I have done this several times. Exactly. Joan Clayton. Some doctors actually recommend that men masturbate 4 to 5 times a week. Okay. If they're trying to have children anyways. The theory is that the sperm left for procreation is fresh. The strongest, healthiest swimmers are left to make sense on that level, but the guy saying to quit masturbating, I have no idea where he's getting this, unless it's the Old Testament thing about better to come into the belly of a whore than to spend it on the ground. Something close to that, but really sex is the most natural thing in the world, so why would a creator God want us to stop, whether it's alone or with a partner? Agreed. Yeah, sex is good for you. Sex with a partner is probably the best because it builds bonds, it builds friendships. There's actually very calming endorphins that are released that help our immune system, relieve stress, etc., etc. Masturbation itself is perfectly healthy. It is good for you. I don't know the exact benefits of it, but I'm sure it has some of the same effects that it does, having sex, period. So yeah, recommending 4 to 5 times a week, I guess so. I mean, I do know it takes a man to replenish his sperm, so I can see that it would probably be good to keep a good replenishment of sperm. But you can get blue balls, like some kids who begin to start exploring their sexuality early and start really masturbating a lot, they can develop blue balls, which is not good. That means that what's happening in his body's not producing sperm fast enough. Well, they're basically they're not having an ejaculation where it's all the sperm, and I don't know the exact medical condition of it, but you can look it up. It's called blue balls. Let me see, Joan Claude. Loken, I haven't heard this song in ages. Are you an old punk? Brings back some crazy wild memories. Thanks for making my day, and great vid as well. Yes, actually, I was in the San Francisco scene for a long time, from the early 80s up until like the late 90s. Yes, I was very much into the punk scene and hung out with bands like Dead Kennedys and Black Flag and Jodie Foster's Army and all kinds of other people. All kinds of bands came to San Francisco, and I hung out with them. And I don't think I ever paid for a single show. I got in free to almost all shows. So yeah, it was a fun time. So yeah, I love bringing up old bands from the day. Oh, I'm going to mispronounce his name. Draylin Okule. I probably really butchered that name. How medieval is his thought process? Demons stealing sperm. Hilarious. Meanwhile, Catholic priests molesting little boys. Maybe Jesus had circle jerk with his mates. Yeah, I like that. Mitzi Moore TV. I like that. So those are some of the comments that you all left. Thank you so much. Let me see. Cole Fox. Hey, Cole, how's it going? Yeah, I will send you a link to it, Cole. Kawaii's Witch. Couldn't get through the video. I was laughing too much. Hey, Kawaii's Witch. How's it going? Hey, Mad. How's it going? Yeah, so let me, Droidlean. Yeah, thanks, Animus Channel. Droidlean. So let me stop presenting. Let me see if I can get Cole Fox in here. It's not him. Let me see. Shoot. Let me, I think you're following me on Twitter, right, Cole? Yeah. So let me send you the link via Twitter again. And get you in here. All right. So I am tweeting you the Hangout link right now, Cole Fox. And let me see who else wanted to come in. Close. Whoops. Get that out. What the hell? Let me see. Twitter's banned. What? That's crazy. All right. I think I have your email address. I think I have it saved. Who else wanted to come in? The only problem with cussing or colorful metaphors is that they are overused. They literally dilute the context of your communication. It's like saying crocodile every other word. No, I disagree with that, Animus. I think it's like any other emphasis. Like, let's say you're talking to somebody and you use their name, Animist, to make a point. I really was listening to you, Animist, and I think you make an excellent point. It's the same thing with curse words. If you use them properly, they actually accentuate your expression, like that fucking idiot. You know, it helps to accentuate words. So I kind of disagree with that. It's not like saying crocodile and I went to the store and I tripped over a rock and crocodile. It's not the same. It's different. If you are, doing all fucking damn shit, fuck damn shit, if you're overusing it, yeah, I can see that's pointless. But it's like you pepper your language with it. It accentuates it. It's like accessories for language. So let me see if okay, so let me see if I can let me email it to you, Cole. So hold on one second. Oops. All right, so I'm going to send it to the Gmail address that I have, Cole Fox. So I have sent you the link to your Gmail account. Let me see. Hot and muggy. I thought I saw somebody else who wanted to join. Who was it? Let me see. I know Cole wanted to come in. Let me see. Droidleen, thank you, Droidleen. That's weird that Twitter banned you. That sucks. Twitter is very weird. My aunt caught me walking around topless. Yeah. Fuck, motherfucker. Samuel Jackson. Yeah, I love Samuel L. Jackson when he curses. Motherfucker. He is the he's the Shakespeare of cursing. Yeah, I love Samuel L. Jackson. So okay, so if anybody else wants to come in, let me know, and we will go back to checking out some of these crazy comments that people are leaving. Well, actually, I haven't really gotten too many crazy comments. I think what I'll do is I'll go into my comments section and we can go over some of these comments together. Whoops. I clicked the wrong one. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. So, and let me see if I can do this. There we go. All right. So Tubal Fex God. There's a lot of repetition. She has no idea what the heck she's doing or what she's toying with. I heard a couple of God names in there. I feel bad for her little teacher, though, if she asks respectfully steps. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with this lady. We actually had a talk on Heathen Haven, and I asked her why she was doing whatever she was doing. She said she was upset with me about talking about Christian witches. So I think the situation has been resolved. But on my end, I don't, even though she tried to curse me and whatnot, I don't hold any animosity towards her. Um, if I got upset about every single little person who did some kind of a wannabe curse on me, I'd be, you know, I've come across it a lot of times. It's not a big deal. It's not pawn old man. It's P owned, player owned. I responded to this comment. Why does age come into the matter, Zabora? Should I start calling you a little girl? A young lady? Would that be respectable if I called you a little girl or a young lady, or would you find that offensive? Maybe something to think about. Cecily Thompson, what the fuck? Yes, read and yell. Oh, read and yell. Random things out of books that you do not understand because that's how it works. Again, talking about that. Pink Fluffy, yeah, I talked to her. I tried to get her on the channel. Animus Channel left me a nice message about Brian Greene's Illusion of Time, which I think I watched before, but I'll definitely watch it again. And he also left me a link to that. That's on my Witchy Wednesday hangout. Thanks, Animus. I appreciate that. Poor boy doesn't know what a witch is. Yeah, he had a different idea of it. Sylvia Ross, this is a person who believes that Jesus Christ actually existed. And I told her I've done the research on this and I found no proof of the existence of Jesus. My research is complete and finalized until new evidence comes forth. Even if he did exist, we would then have to verify the various stories and proof of the works of this fictional character called Jesus. So basically what I'm saying is, if, okay, trying to figure out if somebody lived 1,940 years ago, named Jesus, first we have to verify that. And then, is it the Jesus they're actually referencing in the Bible? Did he do all these various things? Then you have to verify did he actually turn, water to wine? Did he walk on water? Did he create loaves of fishes out of nothing? So just the beginning of saying that, yes, Joe Smith lived in the 1st century AD doesn't go to say that, oh, well, everything else in the Bible is true then. So it's a nice starting point, but it's not done yet. The research is still further needed. So then she goes on to talk about how I watch GW. I don't know who GW is, and David Carrico. And she's talking about how they're scholars. And I responded, I said, I'm intrigued by the lack of scholarship. It's like watching people prove the existence of Bigfoot based off previously doctored fuzzy photographs of people in ape suits, and then them running their theories of the diet of Bigfoot, where it lives, how it mates, and what it thinks, etc. They have not even proven the existence of such things yet. So basically what I was telling her was that these theories that people come up with, these conspiracy theories about the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and all this, they assume that these things exist, and then after that they start running off that assumption. They haven't even proved the existence of it. They have not proved the existence of the bloodlines of the Illuminati. They haven't even done it yet. So it's complete bullshit. That's what I'm amazed at. I'm literally amazed at the bullshit that comes out of their mouth. Let me come back to the chat, see what else is going on here. Someone commented, actually, now I have to go back up. Not coming up. Can you put it in here again? Yeah, sure, Cole. I'll put it in here. Hold on. Look, Sex War Blog. Someone commented on my last vid saying Copper Cab is trolling YouTube with his vids. Yeah, I mean, yes, Copper Cab is obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. He understands what his gimmick is, and he's exploiting that gimmick. Yeah, I agree with that person who left that comment. Yeah, I do tend to go on type too fast. It's okay. HH, please check your Twitter. Oh man, do I have to check my Twitter? Yeah, hold on. Please check your Twitter. I'll yuck it up with you. Okay, cool. Let me invite. Whoops. Let me invite you, Alfred. Let me see. Where the hell? What am I doing? Okay. All right. I will stop presenting because I have to get this thing out. Copy. And there we go. Okay. And let me see. I will post it in the chat. But let me see. Okay, so I'll post it in the chat. So the link I just posted in the chat is to this. So I think you all know. Just if some random person pops in and starts being a douche, I will kick them. So, all right. So, yeah. So let me see if there's any other. That's what side bitches are for, though. All right. Let me see. So there's this one show, or excuse me, this one video that I came across, which I think is interesting. I don't see anybody from Canada in here, but if there are people from Canada, let me know. There is a if you can see it, there's this video that came out, says they are coming for your kids. The transpocalypse has begun. And it's about the new Ontario bill, which is Bill 89, which is Supporting Children, Youth, and Families Act of 2017. And they believe that what is happening is that the people who put this legislation through are going to, steal your kids if you don't make them transphobic, or not transphobic, but make them transsexual. And that's not what that bill means. So we'll be talking about that. Hey, Raven, how's it going? Hold on. But I'm going to wait till we get some people in here so we can talk about this. I'm going to turn my phone off. Seriously? All right. Hey, Raze, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Raze? Let me see if I have my maybe I have my sound. I think it might be on my end. Hold on.
Can you hear me now? God damn it.
Nope, it's not on my end. Let me double check. Microphone. Yes, it is my end. There we go. Now I can probably hear you, Raze. Sorry about that. Okay, Raze, I'm still not hearing you. Let me see. Let me make sure that I got this correct.
Hello. Testing.
There, now I can hear you. Yeah. Hey,
Testing.
how's it going?
Okay, so it was on both of your ends. It's pretty good. Yeah. So about the time that I wasn't hearing you about the time you were talking about some bill involving trans people that was passed in Canada, and I don't know. I don't have an opinion about the bill because I don't really know about the bill, and I'm quite sure that there's a contingent of fundy fucktards that have weird conspiracies about it.
Right. Oh yeah, of course.
And the bill might actually, for all I know, again, I don't know about the bill. It might be something that I disagree with. Actually, I don't know. But
we're going to take a look at it. We can
okay,
find out. We'll find out. Hey,
okay.
Susan, how's it going?
I hacked your live.
Say what?
I just hacked the live through the chat. Yay.
You just okay.
I'm a dweeb.
Okay. People are saying dweeb again? That's cool.
No, I still use dweeb on my boyfriend a lot.
I like that word.
Dweeb.
Dweeb. Okay.
You're a fucking dweeb.
I am a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
We're all
watch this
fucking-
video, and then we can check out this bill. But we'll see what this person has to say
Okay.
first, and then we can go
Roast
over
them.
the bill and see what they say about
Yeah.
it.
Quick question. Are you going to stop the video so you can laugh at it, or do you just want us to be quiet as the video goes?
No, you can comment on it. We're not
Okay.
we're not going to watch the whole thing because he goes into saying that various prime ministers and basically lesbians are actually trans women who started out as men and transformed into
Wait,
women.
what?
So, yeah, I know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to watch it to kind of understand what he's talking about.
Can I drink bleach yet? Oh my god.
I know, right?
Not recommended. Kids, don't drink bleach. All right.
Red alert. Ontario law allows the government to seize your children if you don't allow them to become a tranny. And at the same time, they are brainwashing the children to become trannies. So let's check this thing out called Bill 89. Canadian government may legally remove children from families that refuse to accept their child's quote unquote chosen gender identity, thanks to new legislation passed by the Ontario province. All right, and check out what it says below that. The minister said that parents' failure to recognize and support a child's gender self-identification is a form of child abuse. And at the same time, they removed religious faith from the equation. That no longer matters when thinking about the best interests of the child. All that matters is gender identity and gender expression, which they will be brainwashed to believe in school. Little kids, I'm talking about 3 to 5 years old, even under the age of 10.
Okay, my first gripe is, what is the source? Because is this WorldNet Daily he's speaking from, or Daily Mail, or is it HuffPost? I mean, there's
It's actually an article that he got from Breitbart.
Okay, Breitbart. Okay, Breitbart does have a history of posting articles about LGBT issues with a slant. Now, I'm not going to just denigrate all of Breitbart, but I have seen some articles just over the years as, cake controversies emerge and things of that nature.
We're actually
go ahead.
The article too. Yeah. I prepped for this so we can look at both. We can look at the original article, and then we can also look at the actual bill too.
Okay.
All I have to say is
yeah.
That's all
right. And he's quoting the word choose as though it's legitimizing the assertion from the Christian right that being trans is a choice, but if the source is Breitbart, then that obviously doesn't legitimize what he's saying.
Yeah, let me finish the rest. Let me continue on. I think that because we're going to get there. Hold on one second.
They're going to be going to school. The teachers will be brainwashing them with tranny propaganda. It's already begun. Check this out. In Winnipeg libraries, drag queens are reading stories to children. Mary had a little glam. Look at the age of those kids, young children. You got drag queens doing story time in public libraries, not only in Winnipeg. What happened to the old days when they used to drink beer, play hockey, and go ice fishing? What's going on in Winnipeg? And they're doing this all over the world. They're doing this in New York as well. All right, this is Brooklyn. Of course, the media is like, hey, that's great.
My next comment is what is going on in Winnipeg? Is it like the libraries are seeking out drag queens and saying, hey, come speak? Or is it like somebody, like a man came in dressed up as a female children's book character and somebody snapped a picture and said, oh my God, drag queens are reading to our children? You know, I mean, he's not telling us what actually happened.
Right.
And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. Because there are like groups of drag queens who try to further the to make drag queens look good. And so what they do, or not try to make them look good, but basically they try to volunteer their time.
Hey, you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you able to hear
Hello.
me?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's this?
Cole.
Hey, Cole, how's it going?
Pretty
You
good.
just noticed he was there?
Good. I did, yes, because I had this on full screen, so I wasn't seeing the chat.
Oh.
How's it going, Cole?
Pretty good. But if you look at the picture you got up right now, just a side note besides teaching the children, but some people, oh my God, do you see the makeup? I'm not making fun of anybody, but they've always said a little goes a long ways. Oh my God.
So, okay, what's the point though, Cole?
Well, I think this one to me looks hoax because any professional, if you were going to say it, a drag queen, it kind of looks like a hoax to me, this picture.
Okay.
To me, anyway. Because I don't know, because if I've ever seen drag queens, they do it, most of them do it professionally, so, to me, this kind of looks like a hoax, but,
Okay.
It looks like bootleg Trixie Mattel to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
like somebody just threw it on and came in, trying to make a statement, but not actually that.
Okay. So that's an interesting theory that people dressed up as a drag queen volunteered their time to go and read stories to kids. Okay. What do you think would be the goal of that? Or what do you think they would accomplish doing that?
Well, I think hitting a younger audience would show them that the world is diverse, and if you have an open mind to certain things, you're more accepting to people. That could be one point they could get across. But to me, this doesn't look like a real drag queen to me, if you just put it that way.
Okay. Well, I know that there's various this is a drag queen. I mean, that's what they are. Drag queens are very, very, they just kind of amplify everything. So those are, in my opinion, that's a drag queen. Now, there are people who dress in drag and are transsexual, and they don't try to be so outrageous. They don't wear so much makeup and flashy clothes and everything. And they just try to live their life in the identity that feels most comfortable for them.
Well, I've only ever seen one or two in life, and I guess that might be my perspective, why I think the way I'm thinking at it. So,
yeah, that's okay. It's just that, drag. I mean, that's what a drag queen is. At least that's my understanding of it. I don't know if there's anyone who's a transgender audience who's gone from male to female, but my understanding is that there's various different kinds of people who dress in drag. There's drag queens who are very outrageous, and like they'll be the ones that are singing "It's Raining Men." And they're just it's very flamboyant and accentuated that way, and that's what these people are doing, reading these stories. So I don't think it's staged.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I think I do agree with you. I do think that it is a way of kind of raising public awareness, and especially making kids kind of understand that yes, drag queens and people like this are out there, and they're just like anybody else.
And looking at the dress, yes, it's flamboyant, but there's nothing in it that's like sexualized, that's going to be inappropriate for children.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's silver with these rainbows, and then the makeup, frizzy hair. I mean, it is kind of over the top, but it's supposed to be that way. I think,
Right.
Let's continue on.
Finally,
Don't want to meet someone such an epic fail.
drag queen,
What?
and they're telling these
Or
kids.
to wrap your bra from the fucking mail.
What was that?
You guys don't get the reference from the
No, I
actual
don't.
drag.
No, I don't get the reference, Cece. What's the reference? Is it in relation to this video or something else?
It's a song by a drag queen.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't really. It's not
And how does it relate to
like
this
her
video?
drag. Like her drag is like, it's not flamboyant drag. It's like, it's chonga drag, if you will, like, or chola if you're east side. It's like she dresses like a chonga, cause like she's west side, and like she doesn't do like that in your face drag. Like she looks like a normal legit woman when she does drag, and like not all women do that type of style of drag. So like there's different types of drag, but like yeah.
Okay.
You could be a drag queen just like me. That's what they're telling these kids.
Oh God.
Captures the imagination and play of the gender fluidity of childhood. What? And your kids are going to be exposed.
So again, this is stuff that he read from the article by Brett Bart. So this doesn't have anything to do with the bill. This just has to do with the article that was that bill.
Exposed to these people. You're going to come home and little Johnny's going to say, "Hey, mommy, I think I'm a girl." And then you'll say, "No, you're actually a boy. That's why we named you Johnny." And then, 3 hours later, the police will come and take the kid away from you. You'll be locked up. This is how the Great Tribulation begins.
Oh dear God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Where's my black marker?
I mean, how many people actually think that what he just said is true?
Unfortunately, there are, but that's somewhat of a different topic. Moving on.
The apocalypse has begun. Blow the shofar. You got a shofar. I mean, please tell me I'm dreaming. They even have a category of news. Look at this, news, gender. Okay, now this is more of a sensible news article. They're promoting gender confusion to 3-year-olds. That's what's going on. And of course, this is not new actually, because we've all been exposed to secret trannies in mainstream media and television.
Secret trannies. Wait. We've all been exposed to secret trannies.
Right.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It was so secret we didn't even know about it.
Right.
It's like, what is that?
Until they told us about it.
Right. Exactly. Until they actually told us about it.
The drag queens can teach their kids how to be one of the 36 gender identities. Well, guess what? There's male and female. Anything else is androgyny. You look at that. The sun and the pentagrams.
Oh, wow.
Stars in the background.
Did they just say 36 gender identities? Wow. Please tell me they didn't say 36 gender identities, because now I'm upset.
He did. What he's trying to do is conflate being trans with the far left social justice people who would say censor speech and who think that video games will make people sexist and things.
Oh.
And the child dancing before the sun god. So it's just
wait, what?
Okay, so he thinks that these are, first of all, pentagrams, and then this is sun worship. So he believes because there's a drag queen sitting in front of a backdrop at a kid's school or library, wherever they are, that there are colorful stars and a sun in the background. Somehow this is some kind of a free Masonic symbolism of Satan.
Does he think the American flag then is satanic because it has a ton of stars on it?
Yes, anything that is a star is obviously a pentagram. I don't know where.
Rays. Argers. Argers are bad too. Argers are Satan.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Satan's stealing your sperm.
And the ardors are unmanly men. Ooh.
Satan is stealing your sperm, and it's turning your sperm into drag queens.
Ugh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the transgender 36 gender drag queens apparently.
Yep.
It's turning Satan is stealing your sperm and turning it into eggs.
And then using it on side hoes.
Right.
Androgyny. They're even teaching the kids how to do the 666 eyeglass.
So this,
What?
I'm sure you probably heard, but
There are only two genders.
so this sign right here that these kids do that, like over their eyes, like, you know, joking around, whatever. It's also called the OK symbol, but it's also been associated with 666 because there's a 6, and another. And it's also the sign of white supremacy.
Oh.
White supremacy. Wow.
Wow. As a kid, we learned that was the owl eyes. Oh my god. Really? That's what they're
Oh,
calling it?
yeah, probably owl eyes too.
What is
Yeah.
happening to America?
Oh my god.
Really? Really? Oh my
This one right
god. Oh my god. I'll be right back. That's my.
Okay, this is the reptilian sign of see, these things. It's like a reptile. This kid is obviously a reptilian. Right here, you can see the eyes. See that? The reptilian eyes.
Yep.
You don't see a pupil, do you?
Oh
There's no
no. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. He's
See?
totally a reptilian. And
Yeah, you
and
can see
he has a telepathic connection with the drag queen because he's taking orders from the drag queen. He's gonna
Exactly.
try and make his friends transgender.
Yep. He's got the reptilian.
Very happy. Wow. And they've hijacked the rainbow flag. There's the
So
Wait.
this thing to me looks like a one-day event where a bunch of drag queens went to a library and read stories for kids. So it looks like it was a one-time event, or maybe it's an ongoing thing. But it doesn't mean that every single kid who watches a drag queen is going to grow up to become a drag queen.
It doesn't mean that any kid that grows up that watches a drag queen is gonna grow up to be a drag queen.
Right.
And this whole thing, I have heard this for years that the gays stole the rainbow from
No,
Christian.
stop.
That's like saying the gays stole the that's like saying the gays stole Bifrost or something. There's just no. It's just stupid. How do you steal a rainbow? People have been seeing rainbows forever.
Right.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, the history of the rainbow flag, it was supposed to be representation of, you know, like all the colors, unity, basically. So it was not only just for gay pride, it was also, you know, the Rainbow Coalition. It was a way of unification of diversity. That's what it was supposed to be. And then it kind of, and then, you know, the LGBTQ community sort of kept using it and it got associated with them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They didn't like hijack it. They don't own the copyrights to it, but they do use it. And so it's been associated with LGBT rights, but it's not like they went out and stole it and every rainbow means it's LGBT.
Right.
You know?
Good old LGBT community stealing crap from the Christians since 19-something.
Right.
And the
Hey
thoughts.
guys.
All right, let me just finish this up because it's almost done. At least the part
Okay.
where
tranny-looking prime minister, Sinclair family. All right, he's from the founding family of Freemasonry in Scotland. About 1,000
Where's the bleach?
Freemasonry. He's the prime minister of Canada, waving the tranny flag. All right, this here.
So this is the part where they get into all these women are actually trans men.
That doesn't make any damn sense.
No, it
More
doesn't.
bleach for me.
So now let's go. You still seeing my screen?
Mm.
Now I'm seeing Cece. I saw your screen with the article.
Okay. So this is the article that he referenced from Breitbart. So this is the article and this is from brettbart.com. This is the article that he was quoting from. Basically, it's Bill 89, Supporting Children, Youth, Families Act in 2017 that was approved on June 1st by a vote of 63 to 23. So that's what he was getting it from. So now we can go over to Bill 89, Bill 89, Supporting Children, Youth, and Families Act. And this is the part, I read through this whole thing, the part that they're upset about is this part, let me see, right down here. So, the additional purposes of the Act are expanded to include the following: to recognize the services to children and young persons should be provided in a manner that respects regional differences wherever possible and takes into account physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, and developmental needs and differences among children and young persons. A child's or young person's race, ancestry, place of origin, color, ethnic origin, citizenship, family diversity, disability, creed, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression in a child or young person's cultural and linguistic needs. So now before in this part, it mentioned religious affiliation. And they actually took that part, they took that out and put in sexual orientation and gender identity. So that's what they're so upset about.
Right. Well,
So,
I would say that religion falls under creed. I don't think that the language in this one suggests that children will be taken away if their parents don't accept that they are trans, or that maybe like you have a teenager who's having an identity crisis and is like wearing bracelets every day to signify their gender fluid, their different gender identities. I mean, you have the Tumblr people, but nothing in there is suggesting that, you know, if a parent disagrees with the child having that type of identity crisis, or even disagrees with a child who is legitimately trans and has had gender issues since early childhood, will be taken away. And as far as religion, that's covered under creed.
Right.
And I think that the religion of a family needs to be considered as far as, you know, the developmental well-being of a child, because a child whose maybe first language is Spanish or Arabic or whatever, they're going to get better help if the help is given in their first language. It is,
Right.
you know.
right. Yeah, and so, yeah, you're right. So right down here it says, there is no longer specific reference to a child or young person's religion in the additional purpose of the Act. However, a child or young person's creed is listed as one of several factors to be considered. Throughout the new Act, creed is defined to include religion. So, yeah.
What's creed?
And if creed is what you believe... Sorry, go ahead, Nate. Hellbound.
That's all right. Go ahead.
No, creed is basically what you believe. Like, if I believe... Steady, get down there. If I believe in human rights, then human rights is part of my creed, right? And yeah, like, let's say a child is Roman Catholic, for example. That needs to be considered if social services is going into a child's home. You don't want somebody going in there and saying, "Oh, by the way, your parents taught you lies since you were a baby." I mean, that would not help the child.
Right. Yeah, so...
Oh, and by the way, everything you know is a lie.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like a kid can sit there and claim whatever gender they want. But for some reason, if a kid did identify as a different gender than they were born as, this bill kind of gives them some protection. But I think but it doesn't mean that the kid says, well, I identify as this and you have to either accept me or not.
Right. What it does mean, though, is if a child identifies as a different gender than their body, then that's going to be taken into consideration and respected. What you're not going to have is a social worker telling somebody who has identified as the opposite gender since early childhood, like, oh, no, you're not a he, you're a she, or vice versa. And so now you need, I'm not going to call you by your preferred name. You're going to be called by your given name. Or, or if you wear, certain, clothing of the opposite sex, then that means you're bad and you're going to undergo aversion therapy or something like that. It just means that a child's gender identity and sexual orientation is going to be taken into consideration and respected.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right.
It says nothing in there about taking away children. I think the fear comes in, they recognize that sometimes governments do take away children. And I recognize that sometimes, and this has happened with pagans, as in pagans have been on the receiving end of this, people will use social services to harass the parents. Like they will call social services on parents that are rumored to be pagans or Wiccans or, some kind of religion that the neighbor doesn't happen to like. And so social services come over and check to see, is the house clean, or they interview the kid, make sure they're not being abused or neglected. But what happens is it scares the parents into like, oh no, are they going to take my kids away or something like that? I mean, it's kind of like how in divorce cases, some people have used, oh my God, my ex is a witch, so she can't have the kids or he can't have the kid, whatever.
Right.
I mean, it does happen that people will abuse social services, and it does happen like Georgia DFACS. Georgia DFACS sucks. There has been several stories that have come out where they have failed. Either children have been taken away for reasons, and then the kid's even more traumatized because, it was like, oh, the parents just kind of needed some parenting classes. And other times when a kid has been neglected and abused for years, and then it turns out, oh, they were found dead in the closet and rotting for 2 weeks.
Right.
Oops.
All right. Okay. So hey, Lamote, hi, Mote, how's it going?
You just noticed Moat too?
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Mote.
Yes, Cece, I did, because again, I
Hello.
was on the screen and that's all I was seeing, so I wasn't seeing who was joining the chat or in the chat. So yes. Hey, Mote, what's up? Oh, he's silenced. Hey, Cole, how's it going? What's
Pretty
your
good.
thoughts on that?
No comment.
No comment, huh? All right, Cece, what are your thoughts on this?
Bleach away, bleach. I actually kind of like this. I like this bill, and I agree
You
with
like the bill?
I like the bill. The bill suits me.
The bill.
Well, I like the bill too. It's just
Hey, Raise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in order.
I understand. I apologize. I will
That's all right.
be
That's all right.
quiet.
Just give everybody a chance.
Raise,
I'll join
fuck
again.
you.
Okay, Cece, so cool. Let me see. And Moat, did you want to say anything? Do you have any comments on this?
If I can say anything, I'm not sure what's going on with my microphone now.
Uh-oh. Well, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear
Can you
you.
hear me now?
Exactly.
As CC said, the bill suits me. I don't see a problem with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Icon not showing up.
It shows up on me.
I don't know. I don't know why your icon's not showing up.
I just get like, oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Hi, man.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Ray's said, and yeah, I mean, I don't find anything wrong with the bill. I think that kids should have some protection. I mean, there's, obviously, if you're under the age of 18, basically, you're at the behest of your guardians, and so, but if your guardian is abusive, and you do need to have some kind of protection, and that's what that bill tries to do. It tries to protect people from physical, spiritual, mental, well, not spiritual, but physical, mental abuse. And so
Gotta
I think
curse that kid.
right.
Being trans.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Or agender or gender non-conforming. Yeah.
So did you have a comment on it, Mo?
Well, the thing is, it depends on how old the kid is. Like, some kids wouldn't be old enough to understand this sort of thing, you know? So I'm not sure, like, you know, it's kind of a gray area.
Mhm.
Whose alarm was that? Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know you could hear that. I have headphones on. It's telling me to feed my cat, so I'll be back in 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh my god, you have an alarm for your cat.
I do.
So yeah, so I mean, I think that now, what do you guys think of the what do you think of this guy believing that the state is trying to conform kids and make kids turn into transsexuals or transgender?
I think he has a screw loose,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I like the bill. I was gone for the last 5 minutes, but what I've heard from right now, I do agree. I think that's a really good bill, and yeah, I'm in agreement.
Okay, and Cece?
Another round of bleach, shall we?
So yeah.
Yay.
So yeah, so I mean, it's I don't know, it's funny. So I mean, and then they were upset about having the religious part of it taken out. So
Well, doesn't religion consider be part of creed?
yeah, it was.
Exactly. Now that I know the definition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Let me see, what are people saying in the chat? King of Here, why do you want to go to hell? Just believe in Jesus and you won't. Okay, King of Here.
Let's go to hell instead. Hell is where all the drunkens are, aren't they?
So King of Here, if you're still in the chat, if you want to come in and join us, you're welcome to.
Yeah, the link is in the chat, so
Yes.
yay. That's how I got here.
He or she can convert us.
Or they.
Jesus.
Or they. Yes, it could be they. So what do people think about gender identity? Do you think that there are people who are just using it for their own advantage, meaning that they're just saying that? Maybe they don't exactly are being. I mean, do you think that people are taking advantage of gender identity, or what are your thoughts on gender identity? Are you back yet, Rays? Okay, so Moat, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think there's a few people out there that are using it as a fashion statement.
Okay, Cole.
I think it's trying to make the children more diverse and to believing to make them more open-minded, and I think that's pretty much a good thing.
Cece?
I mean,
Oh,
There-
sorry. Were you done?
yeah.
Okay, sorry, Cece.
There are people that are, like, per se, a third unknown on, like, the Z, like you got correct-ish the last time you talked about that. How
Mhm.
long heathen? And then you do have your posers and your Tumblr. The people that make you want to drink bleach.
Mhm.
You have your gender non-conformings. You have your agenders. You have your whole rainbow. So yeah, I'm under that rainbow. So yay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I tend to believe that there are people who were not born with the gender that they identify with. So, like, let's say you were born a male, but you don't really identify as a male. You identify more as a female, and so you at some point later on, you probably try to transition from being recognized as a male to a female. That I can completely understand. But I do have to admit that I have a hard time completely understanding people who sort of are like, 30/70 or 20/80 or 10/90, like male or female, and they sort of switch back and forth, or they are gender fluid, meaning that they don't want to be identified as male or female. I do have a hard time understanding that. It doesn't mean that I'm not accepting of it. It just means that I just don't fully understand it.
Hogan, you got that wrong. Gender fluids go between the genders, and like they go between the pronouns fluidly. Like one day they might go by he, one day they might go by she, and then one day they might not go by her. You mentioned gender nonconformance.
So which part did I get wrong?
The part where you said that they don't like gender fluid. All I remember is that you got gender fluidity wrong. Now I don't remember anything.
I think maybe there was.
You talked about gender nonconforming people, not gender fluids.
Right. I think there was a comma in there because I was talking about how there's people who are gender fluid and then there's people who are like they don't conform to a particular gender. That's what I was trying to say. Like they're not necessarily male or female. They're kind of in between or both. That's what I meant.
That's gender nonconforming people.
Okay, so that's what I meant. So what I still don't understand what I got wrong.
My phone is controlling me. Hold up.
Okay. Anyhow, let me see. Oh, okay. We lost Cole. I know he's probably been having problems with his. Ray's went to go and feed his cat. So, all right. I think I'm going to probably end the stream. I don't really see. Oh, hey Cole. Hey, how's it going? You're back.
Yeah, pretty good. Mine just cut out for some reason.
Yeah. So what are your? Did you have a chance to respond to this?
Could you repeat the question?
Well, so the question was, what are your opinions about people who identify as either male or female, or not either male or female, but people who go in between genders, meaning they're kind of like they're fluid, like they can either be male or female. Like sometimes they're feeling male, sometimes they're feeling female.
You're either one or the other. If you got the part for one or the other, then you're that. If you got the part for that one, then you're that.
So for example, if somebody has male genitalia, they can't identify as female?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless you get the sex change, yeah, no.
Well, what if they have gender dysphoria?
In that case, it's a mutation. It's very commonly, and that's very rare. In that case, we just state you as a mutation.
Wow.
Can I be an X-Man?
Sorry, but I take it as the scientific approach to that one on that case, because there's so much confusion, and it's easier for me to take that approach.
Okay, so your position is that if you're born male, you identify as male. Period. There's no.
No. I'm saying if you got that part, then you're that. You see what I'm saying?
Not really, Cole. It sounds to me like you're saying if you're born male, you're male. Period.
No, that's what I'm trying to say is if you have that, if you are born a male, but then you get the change and you become a female with lady parts, then you're a female.
Right, exactly. So, but if you are born a male, but in your mind you identify as a woman, but you don't get a sex change, like you actually get your male parts turned into female parts, then you are still male, in your opinion?
Yes, if you don't get it, then you're that gender. That's how I associate it.
So now,
what about somebody in between sex change. For example, someone who's gotten the top surgery but not the bottom surgery, or somebody who has gotten the hormones, gotten the name change, lives as the opposite sex, presents as the opposite sex, and outside of taking the clothes off, you're probably not going to know.
Well, the thing is, there's a difference between sex and gender. Sex is the parts you're born with. Gender is in your head.
Right. And so I was asking Cole, because he was saying you must have you must have the sex change, all the sex change, so in order for him to respect one's gender identity. And that's why I'm asking Cole what happens for people who are in between in transitioning.
I see what you mean.
Okay. I see. Well, I'm going to respect you anyway. I don't care who you are, what you are. I'm going to respect you. Go ahead. I'm going to let people know that. But my thoughts on it are, if you're going to go ahead and do it, and you got it done, and you're good to go. If you're in between, but you're going to get there eventually, then good for you. I know there's a lot of diversity on the topic. So
yeah, because here's my thoughts on this. I think that there is sex. There is what you are born as. Like if you're born male, you're born female. Then you have gender identity, where you believe or you feel either female or male. So you could be born in the sex of male, and then later on, or even at birth, find an identify as a gender identity of female, and then want to dress and be treated as gender female, even though sexually you were born a male, and you maybe even later on in life retain the organs of a male.
Well, the only thing I see problem with that is because, well, my sister, she went, and my mother, they both went into a bathroom when we went to a concert, and there was a lady in there who was apparently using the bathroom, but apparently it was, a male, and he was just standing up using the bathroom and with the door, because the stall didn't have a door on it, and I do see a problem with that.
I also see a problem with people using the bathroom with the door open. It's rude. Perhaps it should be illegal for people to use the bathroom with the door open.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going? I mean, the person's presentation wasn't the issue. The person's gender, the person's sex wasn't the issue. The issue was that this individual, and I'm not going to assume that you're lying to me, this individual, whatever the gender, whatever the sex, was being very rude. So there is not a problem with transgender people in bathrooms. There is a problem with, apparently there's an individual that was very rude, and I'm sorry, that person was really rude.
There's a reason the stalls have doors.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this. So the bathroom issue, I have a certain take on it. There have been instances there, a transgender woman has gone into a male restroom to use the bathroom, and then been verbally assaulted by other males in there, making fun of them, telling them to get out and all this stuff. And so they did not feel comfortable using the male restroom, and so they went in and used the female restroom. And when they went in and used the female restroom, because they could go and use the toilet there, they had no problem with it. So,
well, the thing is,
my understanding of using restrooms is there's actually a good reason why somebody who identifies as a female not to use a male bathroom. So I think they should use a restroom that their gender identifies with.
Well, the thing is, also when they're transitioning, their doctors actually encourage them to use the restroom of the sex they're transitioning to.
Right. Also, I have seen, some of my female trans friends have, one person who was fully transitioned, she decided to use the men's, and that's up to her. And it occurs to me that, like I've heard several oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Several opinions about it from within the trans community. The opinion I like is make sure your feet go how you're presenting, because that's going to be the safest thing for you. So nobody's gonna, you're not making an obvious jerk out of yourself. Now, like, you're not making you're not drawing attention to yourself, hopefully. But I've also run into trans women who are like, well, I'd rather be surrounded by men who don't like me than to come out of the women's and have somebody spot me and say, oh, that person, that's a he in the women's bathroom, and then have men go in and beat her up. It's something that needs to be decided really by the individual.
Right.
Hey, I got a solution.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, shoot.
Why don't we just put a porta potty in every single store? There you go.
Well,
One at a time.
I think that's kind of like they're talking about unisex bathrooms. Like basically what it is a unisex bathroom where it's one stall, one toilet, one sink, and it's an individual use bathroom. That is a solution, but it's not a universal solution, because there are, for example, the example I used before was a bar. So there are bars that many females use, and then there's a restroom in a bar that many females use, and a restroom in a bar that a lot of males use. So if they created a universal bathroom, you're going to have a line of people trying to get into that restroom to use it, and especially in a bar, it's not feasible. But if somebody who was transsexual or transgendered going into that bar, which restroom would they use? Would they use the men's room or the women's room? So that's kind of the issue. But yeah, I agree with you. If we had just like one bathroom, sure, that would work.
I would just make sure that the stall door's closed and that's it. I don't care what bathroom you use.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I fall.
I have one problem with it only, is that I really don't care which bathroom the people do use. My more concern is we got crazy people in this world. Who's to say one doesn't dress up and just goes in there and uses that to their advantage?
Who's to say that now?
Yeah, I've heard that argument.
But who's to say that now?
Right.
And who's to say that? And who's to say that a homosexual crazy person doesn't just not dress up and go into the other bathroom and start oogling people?
Right.
And I've heard that argument before. Basically, that can happen now.
Yeah, I know.
Have that happen to you now. You can go into a bathroom and there'll be a crazy person there, and you have to deal with them.
Right, and still, that's already illegal, as it should be.
Well, I guess I give up in defeat at this one.
Well, what do you mean it's illegal, Rays?
Well, if somebody is just in the bathroom oogling people, you can certainly go to a cop and be like, hey, there's somebody in that bathroom. They're not going to the bathroom. They're just eyeing people and making people very uncomfortable. Can you take them out?
Like peeping Tom.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now it's possible that somebody goes in there and gets their jollies and then leaves. And yeah, in that sense, you're not going to be able to like do anything really, except for get in there and get out.
Yeah.
Fact of life, creeps exist.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've heard people's fears about various things like that, and I mean, I think it's just kind of exaggerated. I think that a lot of the situations that these scenarios that they create are possibilities, but they're so far and few between, and even if they actually have happened, what was the result of it? And you can have a situation like that happen anyhow. I can go into a men's room and there will be a crazy person in there. I mean, I have to deal with that situation. It is a possibility of happening. Has it ever happened to me in my entire life? I don't think so. There's not one instance that I can actually remember where I had to deal with a crazy person in the bathroom. You know,
Right.
but it is a possibility. I mean, I could walk down the street and it could happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
Right. And regardless of the gender, you might like go to, say, the manager of a bar or a store and say, hey, there's a crazy person in there, and they might call security and have them escorted out.
Right.
And I can already hear somebody saying, but then they'll just claim they're trans now. Trans or not, you don't get to be a creep, and they'll be escorted out as well they should be.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't give you carte blanche to be a pervert or to be a peeping Tom.
That's not like Peter Griffin kicked down the stalls going, oh, retarded, oh, retarded.
Exactly right. Oh, how cute.
You're just curious.
Sorry, retarded. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a good one. So let me see what else did this person have about this. So I mean that was pretty much just about it. Now the other thing that I thought was funny is how they believe that there's some kind of one world government behind all of this. I've never quite understood that. I don't understand how they got the
government. They're running it really shitty.
Oh, absolutely. And what occurs to me, if there is some secret one world government, either in existence or coming into existence, then it seems to me that, happy workers are compliant workers, so they would want to make things pretty stellar, as good as they can make it for us little peons, because then us little peons aren't going to rebel. We're just going to be like, oh, we have a bunch of technology and we're happy and it's whatever. So they're not going to like feed us into some giant machine or something, because that, or a bunch of diseases or something to depopulate the earth. That's not going to make people happy and complacent.
Well, I was actually thinking, and I'll go to Moat next, but I was actually thinking, what do they believe? Do they actually believe that the Illuminati or the Freemasons are trying to turn people into trans humans, like trans gay people? What would be the ultimate goal of that? What do you think, Moat?
I think they're making the frogs gay.
Oh my god!
They're making they're turning the frogs
the freaking
gay.
frogs gay.
But I mean, what do you think would be the end goal for these? I mean, they're spending a lot of money. They put a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money and a lot of investment into this. What do you think is their return? What's their goal? What are they getting out of this?
Got me. I have no fucking clue.
What about you, Cole? What do you think?
Oh Lord. Same. I have no idea what would be. Oh Lord.
I know it baffles the mind.
Right. Well, speaking as a person whose mom has not seen a conspiracy yet, she does not like, and yes, she buys into this shit too. The conspiracy theorists claim that turning people gay and trans is a method of population control.
How?
Apparently, they think gay people and trans people being less likely to have children. I don't know. It's like there is no logic to it, but knowing a conspiracy theorist, that is how they would answer the question. To what end? Well, they say population control.
Well, quite
honestly,
I got you one. We need less kids these days.
I got you one.
You got me one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you one. I learned this in biology. It is physically possible for women to wipe out the entire male species and still continue having children. Scientifically possible? It is correct.
How?
Science.
They can go in. Have you ever heard of a test tube baby?
Yes, I have.
They take they go into the females, they take the DNA, and they insert it into the egg, and they grow them like you would in an incubator, and it produces a female offspring.
But they would need male DNA. They would need the Y chromosome. They would need male sperm for that, even to do a test tube baby.
The Y is only for male DNA, for the male products. All your survival and stuff is on the X chromosome.
But I mean, to fertilize the egg, what would they use to fertilize the egg?
DNA from the marrow of a female bone.
Does that? I don't think that actually works, does it?
We had this discussion in biology, and somehow or another they came up with a conclusion on it.
Well, and let's say it did work. The time and the money and the resources, outside of these really, really, really weird extreme people who want men in concentration camps, it's just the money, time, and resources would preclude anyone but the extreme fringe from wanting this to happen.
Yeah.
And so you think the Illuminati, or we're just kind of assuming that this is what these conspiracy theorists think. So what do you think these conspiracy theorists, like the Illuminati's, like feminazis?
All Amazons.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because the patriarch and the Illuminati are kind of the same thing. Oh man, so that's too funny. But yeah, I mean, it's just. So this is what I posed questions to some of these conspiracy theorists, like, and they don't have a good answer for it. They just don't know why. But they're doing it for whatever reason.
Right.
Because reason.
But even so, if you were going to turn people gay or trans, how would that work into the into getting rid of the male population? That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's just population control in general, less people to rule over.
Well, Alex Jones says that that big amorphous they are trying to feminize men, which that doesn't explain trans men or butch lesbians or just butch women anyway. I mean,
that's the part I don't understand, because it works both ways. It's just not males who turn gay, and it's not just males who transition to women. It also goes the other way. You also have lesbians, and you also have women who identify as males. So it works both ways. So it still doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's still, I guess, what
they focus on the males for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just fear. They believe that it's kind of like the idea of white genocide. It's like this idea that it's a conspiracy to try and get rid of all the males and drop the population down.
Yeah. And white genocide is one of the most batshit theories, because what they say, they being conspiracy theorists, the people who believe in white genocide, they say that the steadily decreasing population of white countries, forget that prosperity is a great controller of population, and how many countries that are far less prosperous but full of people who aren't white are breeding more. There's some conspiracy to get that to happen so that the white race will be killed off over generations by not giving birth. So apparently to their mind, prosperity for white people is part of this giant conspiracy to get rid of white people. And so I guess they think people who aren't white are impoverished because some great big of course they're not all impoverished, that's not what I'm okay, but people in places like sub-Saharan Africa, or people in Islamic countries that are basically crappy places to live, are apparently being defended by this overarching conspiracy to populate the world with non-white people and kill the whites. It's stupid. It is so stupid.
I think
Most conspiracy theories are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I think it's a conspiracy to believe that there's some kind of unifying force behind it. I think that that's a conspiracy. As for it happening, I think it is. I think it's a fear. I think it's a fear that people have. I think if you look at the world population, yes, whites are on the decline. And when I say white, I mean like the countries that are predominantly have people who have white skin. But that's just because of various factors. I think that most Europeans have less children because it's expensive to have kids. I think there's a decrease in the population, but I don't think there's anything behind it. I think it's just it just happens that way. It just goes that way. But I don't think there's any conspiracy behind it. But anyhow, I also want to get thoughts from what are your thoughts on this, Mo?
No, I was say, well, look at Japan. They're having less and less kids too.
Right.
And Cole, what are your thoughts?
Well, I know they did have that one-child law, which they finally bumped that out. But I guess they see it. Well, most people used to farm, and due to farming, that's why they had a lot of children. It's less work they had to do, but people have really cut that off because machines nowadays are able to do so much more. So I would see that as a drop to children being born as much. Yeah.
Well, another factor is less children are dying of diseases in developed countries, which are a lot of which are majority white. And so that too is a very important factor in, people having tons and tons of children. If you're if you're living in a mud hut, you're going to have 10 children because, 7 of them are going to die.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, because
before vaccines, you were lucky to live to 6.
Yep.
What was that?
I said back before vaccines, you were lucky to live to 6 years old.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Because. Yep. Agreed. Yep. All right. Well, let me see. So I mean, this was fun. Don't know what else to talk about.
Hope I'm not
Anti-vaxxers?
Yeah, really anti-vaxxers. Yeah.
I got you one.
What?
So we named it comments and answering questions.
Uh-huh.
So, would you like to go over some of the tools used in rituals?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing we could do that. I was also going to start up a series because I was trying to figure out how to have like a Wicca class without like actually teaching Wicca.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to have like a pre-Wicca class where I just talk about like the history of traditional Wicca and then also go over some of the how it's evolved and also go over some of the tools and some of the traditional forms of witchcraft without actually revealing any of the ritual format, which I wouldn't be able to do. But what was your question? What do you think? What about the tools?
I had a question. I did notice a bell. What is the purpose of the bell?
Well, a bell is used in different forms of practice, but it is used usually to call an announcement. Some people use it to call to the quarters. Some people call, like before you would start a ritual, you would ring the bell a couple of times. It's also used in different ritual formats. It's basically like it's a signal to call to meditation or a call to the beginning of a ritual or to call to the quarters or maybe to call to spirits.
All right, because in mine we ring the bell 3 times to give thanks.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Another example to give thanks was you would go outside and tie a ribbon to a tree.
Mhm.
There's one. To give thanks for in return of whatever helped you with your such forth.
Now, do you go and give thanks to the tree and wrap a ribbon around it, or do you actually like go and say this is kind of what I want, and then you tie a ribbon to the tree?
You basically go with the first one. You go ahead and do it, and usually when it comes true, and you go out there, you tie a ribbon around the tree. You never want to say thank you. I have learned this the hard way by doing some reading and communicating. Thank you is more of a between master and servant. So you want to say something that's of equal thanks. So you would say what you like about it.
Have you ever been to the Hill of Tara?
No, I have not. What is it?
Well, the Hill of Tara is in Ireland. That's where the Stone of Fall is, or the Innis Fall is. But there's a tree off to the side which is filled with ribbons, and this probably started like back in the maybe 60s or 70s. But especially in Ireland, it was a way of what you would do is you would have a wish, and you would go and you would tie a ribbon to the tree, like the old song, tie a yellow ribbon to the old oak tree. But that was what you would do, is you would have a wish, and then you would tie a ribbon to a tree, or like various things they would tie to the tree. So, but in your tradition, it's a way of thanks. Oh, okay, interesting. So, but thanks to what? The tree?
Yes, thanks for its help.
Oh, okay.
We see, souls and trees, they're an extension of nature. So a way of giving back to nature for its help would be such forth as the gift of a ribbon to a tree, taking proper care of your surrounding area. You see trash, pick it up, not only to make it look better, but such forth.
Interesting. And do you know where that originates in green witchcraft? Is that what you practice, green witchcraft?
I'm not exactly sure where it originates from, but I know the benefits of it is you're supposed to help maintain the earth as a green witch, and by doing that, it's part of the practice. Two-way communication. You help it, it helps you, and such forth.
Interesting. And so the bell is sort of a way to also give thanks?
Yes, it is.
Interesting, okay. Now, I'm not too familiar with like the ritual format. Is it anything like Wicca, or is it completely different?
I'll be right. Let me get right thing. Let's see here. There is a format. There are different formats for what you're doing. Let's see. Essentially, there is, let's see here.
Do you have an athame and a cup and a circle, practice in a circle?
Yep.
All the four quarters?
You do. It can be as simple, or it can be as complex as you really want it to be. But eventually, you basically give thanks. You open a circle. You do what you need to do. You do a thing called cake and wine, which is a form of thanks, including with the I know. Funny, right?
But this is what is this Wicca, or is it something else?
It's Green Witch.
Okay, so it's completely different from Wicca.
It's a different format of it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, different format. Okay, yeah. I have no problems with people who practice like non-Wiccan rituals and formats, and I think it's great. I think that diversity is really good, and I'm all for it. It's just that I don't want to insult anybody who's practices a form of non-Wiccan witchcraft out there, but I have yet to really find a witchcraft tradition which is completely separate from Wicca. It seems like a lot of them, not all of them, have basically just taken various elements of Wicca, put it into their tradition, and created their own thing, and say that Wiccans are kindergarten witches, and they're silly, and Gardner invented it all, and yet they're using Wicca format. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of funny. I'm not saying everybody does it that way, but a lot of them do.
Well, I don't really care what people say. You can say what it is, because if you let things get underneath your skin in this world, it's the recipe for disaster, so I don't take anything to heart.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So do you give like thanks with the bell at the end of the ritual?
Yes, you give thanks, and then you give a benedict, and you close your circle.
Neat. Okay, so you
Yeah.
so, and do you have like an athame and a wand and a cup?
Well, yeah, we have the cup, we have the bell. It really don't matter with the athame. That's preference choice. Like I said, sometimes you don't even have to open a circle if you want to. It's as little as you want it to, or as complex as you want it to. Me, I usually just open a circle, get on what I need to do, and then I give thanks, and then close it out.
Animus Channel says, HH would like to apologize for getting about all the other traditional witchcraft traditions that predate Wicca. Like which one? I don't know which one. Which ones predate Wicca? I'll have to find out which ones predate Wicca.
You see, what's her?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You do her black wings. She said that, or he said that bells are good for cleansing. If you look in the Chinese mythology, lots of bells have been used when you're cleansing stuff and such forth. So yeah, I can see that.
Oh, okay. So yes, I've heard this. Animus Channel says from Italy, Central America, Africa, Indonesia, Poland, Scandinavia. Yeah, so non-European witchcraft traditions. You know, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to say that please do a video on it and explain it, because I would love to learn more. I'm trying not to be a dick about it. It's just that I've never seen a well done video explaining traditions that predate Wicca. But I would love to see it. I would love to see it. If you do a video on that, I will even promote it on my own channel, because I would love to find something that predates it. So there you go.
Yeah, very often, anything that anyone in this chat room is going to discuss is going to be a tradition that was reconstructed to the best of our ability from other traditions. Even if you're talking with a very, very, very strict and very, very tradition-specific recon pagan, it was, on some level, reconstructed to the best of our ability. My opinion. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be exceptions. I mean, maybe you have a person who's from a, what's the word I'm looking for? A continuous tradition of voodoo, for example. And it's, you know, sure, I mean, it can happen. I'm not going to say it never happens. But most anything that we're going to discuss as far as religion or magical traditions, folk traditions, was reconstructed, and I think that's a-okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being honest about how a tradition began, but I often forget that I have to explain that when I'm talking about, like, specifically European, when I say witchcraft, I usually mean European witchcraft. I don't mean Voodoo or Santeria. I mean even Strega. Strega I would include into that, because even if you look at the history of Strega is basically from Wicca. That's where Strega comes from. But people don't like to admit that. But if you look at the history of it, that's where it came from. Raven Gramasi was initiated into Wicca, and he uses a lot of Wicca material in there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I have yet to find a European witchcraft tradition which is completely separate and different from Wicca. And, you know, I mean, it's okay. It's just the only reason why I get irritated by it is I was in a chat the other day, and these people were talking about how Wicca was invented. It's like, and they just say that their traditional witchcraft predates Wicca. That's fine if you want to say that, but prove it, you know? I mean, I would love to hear it, and I would even promote it on my channel. I very much into understanding the truth about the European witchcraft traditions. So
I don't think any witchcraft tradition is 100% accurate, you know?
right, yeah.
And since too, even if you are dealing with something that is literally an unbroken tradition, we're dealing with folkways. So we're dealing with oral histories, we're dealing with songs, we're dealing with like written stuff that could have been written by somebody who's, well, if not just Christian, could have been written by somebody who's like, okay, I want to preserve the way my family in my village told this story, but you're not going to get necessarily the other ways that the other villages nearby told the same story. So things would change anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe somebody just wanted to fuck with future generations.
Possible.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the stuff that we have, the information that we have of witchcraft, like during the 14th to 1750s, I mean, that's all like stuff where some of it is true, but some of it is also, fear and bullshit. So some of it is probably true, like the idea of flying on a broomstick, the idea of meeting in a forest, the idea of, the flying ointments. We have recipes for the flying ointments. They found flying ointments, so those existed. So I mean, there's elements of truth, and then there's elements that are just kind of like included into the witchcraft trials, And I think that there is evidence for some sort of a pre-shamanic or pre-Christian shamanic practice that possibly just passed along, but I don't think people walked around calling themselves witches and meeting in covens. I just don't think that happened. I think that is something that probably happened afterwards, where people began to sort of reclaim that word. So yeah, so I mean, and the history of Wicca is, maybe it was all made up in the New Forest Coven by a group of people. That could be, that's a possibility. But from the analysis that I've done of the Gardnerian material, a small fraction of it doesn't have a known source. So there's a certain percentage of it that doesn't have a known source. So either that source comes from somewhere else, or it was made up. And you can kind of break down material. Go ahead.
Her Black Wings posted, I've heard the whole Wicca is a fake religion and man-made. Aren't all religions man-made, is what she said.
Yes.
And I do, because, we have no technology to prove where it actually everything originated from.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everything has a starting point. And from like my research, and I still need to probably do a better video on this, but I mean, I see, especially witchcraft today, that we have an offshoot of the Western occult tradition, and the Western occult tradition goes back for at least 15th century. So we actually do have a lineage that goes farther back in time, and that is the Western occult tradition, But again, it evolved. It didn't stay in a suspended. It didn't stay in some kind of a suspended animation and carry on through the centuries. It just evolved and changed. And I don't think anybody who was in some kind of shamanic practice back in the 4th century was running around calling themselves witches. I don't think they were doing that. They were just praising the gods that they believed in and creating potions and divination and, having their little rituals that they got together, banded together and did. But I don't think they like walked around calling each other witches, But who knows? Maybe they did. But I don't think they did,
Was it even a term back then?
I'm sure they probably maybe had terms for like people who were like elders, maybe, maybe some form of like a term for like maybe whatever you would call like a priest or a father or something like that. They probably did have some term like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
Wise
did.
people, folk healer people,
Yeah.
They're not coming up to my witch.
I mean, if you look at the root word of witch, probably, I mean, it comes from the term Wicca, and Wicca means something to the extent of like, somebody's able to bend or twist. And then we have the word wizard, which comes from the word wise. And so who knows, maybe people called each other wizards or wise people, wise men. And I mean, there's definitely there's still a lot of information, I think, out there to find. So, yeah. So I mean, I actually have a video coming out on Wicca. It's coming out on Monday, but it's just basically just talking about how people are just out. They're kind of bashing Wiccans out there, and I find it a little offensive. I think that people need to kind of put that in check. There's still people who accuse people who practice Wicca of not practicing witchcraft, trying to say that people who practice Wicca aren't witches. And I mean, it's just kind of passive aggressive attacks on people. There are people obviously who practice their form of witchcraft, which they doesn't have anything to do with Wicca supposedly, but that's what they practice, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't mean that Wicca is kindergarten.
There is one thing to say. There are people that were like me back in the 90s that kind of gave Wicca a bad name. I was doing it just to be cool and shit, and I looked like a complete asshole.
Yeah, but I think that happens to anybody. I mean, you can practice Odinism or Asaratru or Druidry or voodoo or anything like that. If you practice something and you're not really taking it seriously and you're just kind of goofing off, yeah. But chances are you're probably going to fall out of it pretty quickly because you're not serious about it.
I get that. I made myself and the coven I was with look like I looked like complete idiots, and they told me I was no longer welcome, and that kind of woke me up. Like, wow, what am I doing?
Yeah,
right.
It's also a learning process. Go ahead, Race.
I very much appreciate your honesty in that you're the one who is kicked out, and that's great that it was you took it as a learning experience, and you're admitting, hey, I was that guy, instead of being judgmental toward people who might today be that guy. I wanted to caution people too that there are many people who there are groups, and not just on the far right, who have really goofy political ideologies, and they will dress it up in forms of paganism. Odinism, I'm looking at you, and I know hashtag not all Odinists. There's the Hellene, not all Hellenes, but there are, I forget the name of the organizations, but within Greece, within Hellenic paganism, there is an organization that is basically hard left communist, and they dress all that up in Hellenism. Again, hashtag not all Hellenes, hashtag not all Odinists. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm saying some people. Okay, and that's just two examples that I've seen of that too.
Right. Yeah, and for myself, I mean, I think personally, like if you're going to meet as a group, I think you should really leave politics out of it, because chances are people are going to have different political leanings, and I am also all for keeping politics and religion separate. I mean, obviously, you might have your own beliefs that are obviously going to come into your religion and into your politics. But as for like people who do workings to influence political, I don't think that's beneficial, And I'm speaking from experience. I've seen groups collapse one after the other from people who had different political agendas, and it just doesn't work in a group setting. That's my opinion. Somebody was going to say something. Who was that?
Might have been me.
Okay, what were we going to say, Cole?
I was gonna say, Timo, good job. You didn't give up on the religion because most people, usually after that, they give up on it. They fall out of it quickly, as you said, and it's a learning experience. Good for you that you
Actually,
took
I
it that way.
did. I'm kind of agnostic now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What did you say?
Oh, so I did fall out of the religion. I'm just agnostic now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, you didn't fall out of your search, obviously.
Yeah.
So
But no, I just realized, hey, I'm just doing this to be cool. I'm looking like an idiot in the process.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I think that there are people who don't take things seriously. Like, I think that like they pick up a book on Wicca from Silver Ravenwolf and they kind of play with it, and they think it's kind of cool. And that does happen, and I think that that's had a benefit, and it's had good benefits and it has negative benefits on Wicca, because I think that a lot of people think that Wicca is that way, whereas it's not. But it also gave people an opportunity to sort of explore something and to get into it. Even if they didn't take it seriously, they kind of have a better understanding of it. So
That's kind of funny because Silver Ravenwolf is what got me into it originally.
right. That's because Silver Ravenwolf doesn't really treat witchcraft in a very serious tone. She kind of treats it as a very she addressed it and dressed it up in a way it's geared towards teenagers.
It feels like a Harry Potter book.
It is a Harry Potter book, and I've read some of her books, and this is what I've taken from it. But it is actually pretty accurate to what I would consider a structured Wicca practice, but it's not really taken as serious, and I think that's why other people who read those books don't take it seriously, and then other people who interpret those people's practices as being quote unquote fluffy, because they're not really taking them serious. I mean, traditional Wicca is very structured, but there's a lot of stuff to it, and it's actually there's a lot of study that goes with it, and there's a lot that you really need to understand, and you can't just sort of practice it. I mean, it's not something you really how can I say it? There's a lot of, it's not just the elements. It's not just dancing in a circle and calling to the elements and not taking it seriously. There's stuff you really have to take serious about it.
Yeah.
But again, there's traditional Wicca, and then there's eclectic, non-Wicca, non-group Wicca. So anyhow, well, it's coming on 9 o'clock now. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. It was a lot of fun, and it was good to talk about this.
And thanks for letting me in.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Rays and Cole, and
sorry for making things weird and awkward.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, no, you didn't. I ranted and interrupted because I'm very opinionated about conspiracy theorists, especially when they bang on about trans people.
Yeah. I'm just new to live streaming, I guess. So that's just.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't feel afraid to share your opinion on my channel. I'm gonna respect your opinion unless you're being a dick to other people. I'm not gonna. I don't care. We're not all going to agree on everything. That's just the way it is.
Okay, I was more worried about me being awkward and talking over people over stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that most people are pretty good about it. We just need to be aware of talking over people or taking up too much time. Like, I have to be aware too. Like, how much am I saying? If I'm talking way too long, I'm taking time from other people to talk. So, you know. Anyhow, I'm going to end this, and thank you all so much. And the next hangout I'm going to have is going to be on Wednesday, and Wednesday is also when I have the video coming out on the Galdebrock. So, Ray's, you'll probably be interested in that. So, hopefully, you can join me on Wednesday if you're available.
I'll probably like watch on Wednesday. Wednesday. Oh shit, that's my Dark Heresy night.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, you can always.
I'll listen later for sure because I am interested. It's just like it's my Dark Heresy night.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can always.
The God Emperor is more important.
Yeah, right.
Different form of heresy work.
Yeah, really work. Yes, you have to pay your bills.
Yeah.
All right, all. Say good night. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Hey, what are we doing Wednesday? What are you talking about?
Oh, we're going to be
If I
talking
may.
about the Galdebrock.
All right, I'll be there.
Magic, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
Righto.
Bye.
Good night.